What's up, traders? Welcome again to Golden Forex YouTube channel. I'm very excited to bring you this video. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell if you haven't so that you get notified anytime we drop a new video. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about a top-down analysis approach. And for this specific video, we're going to do a presentation on it. After the presentation, we'll make a separate video doing the same top-down analysis, but on our trading platform. So, we're going to do a theoretical top-down analysis approach. After that, we're going to go to the charts and do a technical analysis top-down approach on our trading platforms. So without wasting much time, let's get into it. So, what time frame are we going to start our top-down analysis on? And what time frame are we going to end our top-down analysis on? Well, in this specific video, we're going to start from the weekly chart, and we're going to end on the 15 or 5-minute chart. So on the weekly chart, we're going to do this analysis before the new week opens. That is, as soon as Friday closes, we're going to have 2 days in between to do this analysis. So this analysis is going to be done on the weekends, and we'll talk more about it in the subsequent slides. From there, we're going to go to the daily chart. And on the daily chart, we're going to do this also at the close of each trading day. And we're going to do this on a daily basis. So it's going to be a daily analysis from Monday to Thursday. And from there, we go to the lower time frames 15 and 5. And this is going to be a pre-session open analysis. So before the London session opens, what are the things we need to take note of on our charts? And this is going to be a session analysis. So now that we have an idea as to what this video is going to entail, we're going to get started right away. So on the weekly chart on the weekend for our analysis, what are we going to be doing on a weekly chart? What are we going to be taking note before the new week opens? Well, first things first, we're going to be taking a look at the weekly profiles with the economic calendar. Before we do anything else, the economic calendar is the first thing we take a look at before the new week opens. And we're going to blend the economic calendar with the weekly profiles. And the weekly profiles is an ICT concept. If you don't know what it is, I'll make an entire video on the weekly profile with the economic calendar. But if you want to check it out, I will put the link down below so you can go to ICT YouTube channel and watch the weekly profiles. Now, after we're done with the weekly profile with the economic calendar, we're going to note the average weekly range and how to utilize the average weekly range to determine your discount and your premium. So we buy at discount and we sell at premium. I have a specific way of utilizing this average weekly range and I'll make a video about it also. From there, we're going to note the draw on liquidity on the weekly chart. And most often than not, the market is either seeking the previous week's high or the previous week's low. And sometimes the previous month's high and the previous month's low when we're in close proximity to it and just a week away from closing. So what does that mean? What I'm trying to say is the market is always going to target previous week's high or previous week's low. So when we're bearish, the market will always seek previous week's low as a draw on liquidity. Sometimes we might take both, but it rarely happens. So we're going to note our draw on liquidity. And of course, we're going to do a PD array analysis on the weekly chart to determine our point of interest. So we are going to move on to the daily chart. And this is going to be an analysis done after the day has ended. So if Monday's trading closes, we're going to go to our daily chart and this is what we're going to take note of. And it's very close to the weekly chart analysis. So we are going to do a daily profile with the economic calendar. Again, link will be in the description, and I will also make a video about it. We're going to do an average daily range, so we're going to replicate what we did on the weekly chart, but this time on the daily chart. We're going to note the previous day's high and the previous day's low, because as I said, just as the weekly chart will seek previous week's highs or lows, and rarely do, we seek both at the same time. The market will do the same on the daily chart, and we're either seeking previous day's high or previous day's low blended with the weekly draw on liquidity, depending on your bias. Afterwards, we're going to do the same as we did on the weekly chart. We're going to note our PD arrays for our point of interest, and it's going to be synchronized with the weekly PD arrays. Don't worry if you don't get it. I will explain it when we get to the technical analysis in a separate video. Now let's move on to the next.
And this is the last piece of the top-down analysis, the intraday or session analysis on the 15-minute or the 5-minute chart. Now, what are we going to take note on this pre-session analysis? First of all, we're going to take note of the intraday profiles. And some of these intraday profiles include the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So basically the power of three. Now, we have the Asian session accumulation, which is consolidation, followed with the London session manipulation, which could be a sweep above the Asian session when bearish or sweep below the Asian session low when bullish. Now we have the London session distribution, which could be after the manipulation. Inside the same London session, we could have a distribution to the intended direction. And we have the New York session continuation, which could be a continuation of the London distribution or a complete reversal inside of the New York session. Now, all of these can be found in the ICT YouTube playlist. So if you want to check the various profiles for the market, you can check it over there. Again, a video will be made explaining these things, so not to worry. Now, we're going to note the intraday profile. And of course, as a trader, you need to know when you're going to be taking action. So that's when the ICT kill zone comes in. So inside the ICT kill zone, we have the Asian kill zone. We have the London open kill zone. We have the New York open kill zone. And we have the London close kill zone, which we're going to talk about in subsequent videos explaining a little bit about the ICT kill zone. Also, we're going to be taking note of the Asian range for standard deviations to predict the daily highs and lows as well. We are also going to note the various session liquidities. We're going to note the Asian session highs and lows on the 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart. We're also going to note the London session highs and lows as well as the New York session highs and lows. This will help build up a narrative for the intraday profiles as well. Again, we're going to explain this in subsequent videos. After that, we're going to note the lower time frame PD arrays to get a precise point of interest. And lastly, we're going to note the midnight opening price of the trading day using New York Standard Time. And we're going to buy below the midnight open and sell above the midnight open preferably. Now, this is just a presentation on what to do on various time frames for your top-down analysis. So in the next video, we will take to the charts and do a detailed technical analysis using this top-down approach. And that concludes this video. If you found this video insightful and helpful, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.